Howdy howdy, it's your Ward General Clapton here. Kind of felt like my role uh, doesn't have much purpose without the Prime Wars in this wipe, but I kind of came up with another way that I could help out the Hive, and I'm gonna be showing y'all how to solo Haze. If you obviously know you're not gonna solo it, like that's not something you really care about. It's more of a personal journey for me, but yeah, if you know you're not gonna solo it, this will also help you run it with groups if you just have no idea what's going on. It'll be a pretty good guide for that. But I will start with showing y'all everything y'all are going to need. A lot of it is build specific, but I can kind of point you in the right direction. Um, First things first, that'll help everybody. If you have the Stardust, what is it called? If you have the Stardust Dish Shell Break, a medic or know somebody that does, obviously I have it, so I can craft it for you if you need. Um, it will give you a damage boost to Deviants, which, in my knowledge, is the only drink effect that will give you damage boost. So when you go ahead and use it, just so I can show y'all real quick. So this gives me two. One thing that it's good for is if your sanity's full, it will heal you. And in this dungeon, there's lights that refill your sanity, so it'll just auto heal you when you're under those lights. But it gives you Destroyer, which, as you can read, damage to deviants increased by 30%, damage to humanoid monsters decreases by 30%. So that is, I think the humanoid monsters are a Manubisang. I think it's those monsters that kind of just like look like people with, like zombified people or whatever you want to call it. And passing gas is also another one it gives you, which is also pretty good. Um, so if you can bring this with you, it's very good. And then obviously for food, just do something that boosts your damage. Whatever your build is, I use crumbly bread, but whatever you use personally, go for it. Um, for the whims, I mean, just bring all of them. You know, Core Arma, Arrow Leap, Weaver. But if I had to pick one, if I could only bring one, I would 100% go with Weaver. It just lets you pretty much not care about a lot of the creatures in the dungeon. You can just run right past them, weave them up, and be on the next area. And it's also really good for the boss fights. So definitely bring Weaver. Obviously, a lot of ammo. Whatever you use, bring a lot of it. You're gonna need it. These all-purpose hands also come in handy because if you need a lot of ammo, you need to shoot your gun a lot, and your gun is gonna break through this. And armor as well. Um, and make sure you're doing enough damage. If you know, if you don't have a build yet, I wouldn't even attempt this dungeon. By now, everybody should have a build. You know, and when I say build, like, you know, have your mods cater towards your build, whether you're elemental, shrap, unstable bomber. Um, this is what my cradle looks like. This is again kind of build dependent, but if you are running an elemental, because I run Fortress Warfare, Bullseye, and then Shrap, so all my cradle slots are pretty much taken up. But if you're running a solo and you have a slot that you don't really care about, I would definitely equip this Lone Walker. It's really good for you know, solo running, obviously. And while they're not technically, you don't technically have to have them. I'll show you at the final boss fight why these transformation cookies are so good. I would, you know, try to get them if you can. You just use the deviant, the gingerbread house to get these. You'll see why, but these are going to be really good if you're struggling with this. And last but not least, make sure you're bringing water and food that doesn't take over your primary effects. Always nice to have on you. And I'm trying to think if that was it. Oh, and for the deviant, doing this solo, I know some elemental builds have a deviant that pairs with it well, but the howling ability that the Shadow Hound has to distract some of the enemies off of you for a time is really useful when you're running this solo. So not everything is just, you know, no lube fucking you this whole time. This is a very good deviant if you're running this solo. If it's absolutely necessary to have a different deviant, go for it. But this is, especially with the cookie strat that I'm going to show y'all, he's pretty essential. So, anyways, we'll head over there. I'll show you how to do the dungeon, and I will show you how to solo the boss. If y'all haven't figured out how these sigils work yet, usually just got to do it in an order, and it's based off of the stack. So this one has one stack, you're going to do it first. This one has two, you're going to do it second. So we'll go circle, and time. This first effect you're going to see, on the parts that you can just run through everything, run through everything. There's no reason to fight in the dark areas, as she calls it. That little symbol, the red symbol you see to the left of my health bar, if that number gets to 10, it will start killing you, and it will start killing you quick. And the only way to get that wiped out is by standing around one of these light points. So once you get here, then you can turn around and kill everything that was coming for you. And this is where the Weaver comes in real nice, because you can pretty much just completely stop him. You don't have to stop and kill these. It's not essential to do this. Actually, I take it back. Go ahead and kill him, because you kind of don't want everything to be jumping you at once. Just a general rule of thumb. I think I'm doing... Oh, I don't have my fucking food and shit popped yet. Okay. Oopsies. I'm gonna get an iced tea. For this next part, I pop this before I run past everything, so it's not spawning more. And I'll go ahead and go. Movement speed is very nice in this dungeon. There's a lot of bosses that shoot a fuck ton of projectiles at you. I'll go ahead and get my doggy on that guy. So movement speed is something that I would try to get coming and doing this. Yeah. Now everything is focusing on my dog and not me. A couple things still are, but that's okay. And I can just kind of stand back and do what I need to do. And these lights also, slowly, but they do end up healing you while you're standing next to them, which should be nice. Albeit all not all that quick, but I'm not gonna complain. I'm gonna do it. Thank you. Right.
Don't worry.
So for our first boss, it's pretty simple. And it kind of goes the same for every boss until the final one.
Look,
But
those deviants ahead should be a good source. Defeat them, then
this is why the Weavers sound nice.
start the blow.
Really can't do shit. Great. Yeah, you'll just kill, and this one is the Reaper. She'll drop a ball. You will then throw that ball at these. I do see people say that you gotta do it in order, or some people think you gotta do it in order, but you don't. Like, even a little bit. You gotta shoot it in order, but you don't gotta activate them in order. Yeah, I'll run through this real quick and I'll show y'all. So now you just do it in order. So 1, it's gonna be time. It's got 2 stacks, so it's gonna be circle. It's got 3, so it's gonna be moon. Time, circle, moon.
Good job.
This is the reason I say you don't gotta sit there and kill all the ants on these dungeons, because they'll despawn once you complete it. So it's really up to you. I always get a level 1 here. It's pretty insane. Alright, on to the next. So, for this next part, you can skip past anything that spawns down here.
It's fascinating stuff.
This little gap prevents them from getting to you. This I would kill in here, because the next part is a hallway, and he can trap you in there with his fire pretty easily. Any fellow Shrap builds know that these little scorch heads are very annoying to kill. They do not have any body parts, Weak spots. Be careful with their flames. They, you know, I got fully calibrated armor, and they still fuck me up. Don't know why I did that. Right. Damn it. I know you can melee her before her health starts respawning, and I really don't know why I didn't. Alright. Hurry up, bro. Another reason the weave is great. This next part, you can just kind of run through everything. Don't worry about it. Alright, on to the Scorcher boss. I'll speed through most of this. I'll just give my recommendations real quick.
Careful. That head seems tricky.
So, it's going to spawn in Scorcher heads. You pretty much just got to kill them, and they'll give you the ball. And then you light all 4 of them up here. At first they'll spawn 2. That's the only time they'll spawn 2 at a time. You're going to get 1 at a time after that. So, definitely try your best to hit these towers, because they can get pretty annoying if you're missing them. Yeah, pretty much when you activate all these, that little middle sigil, you'll spin it. It'll show you 1 at a time, and you'll have to shoot it in order of these towers. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The only real recommendation I have for this one is maybe kill the drillers. It's kind of a personal thing, but they're pretty easy to dodge. But it seems like sometimes they're undodgeable. Like their hitbox gets all fucked up. So if you want to kill them. Because when they hit you, it'll stun you. And if this guy's shooting his flames at you at the same time, you'll just die instantly. That's one thing about this guy is do not let him hit you, because again, no matter what kind of armor you got, you're gonna die pretty quick. Yeah, at first I would kill all these small ants like right now, just because he doesn't spawn in Scorcher heads yet, and you can't hit him. But yeah, I'll go ahead and speed through this boss fight, kind of give you an example of how I do it. Be right back.
We're gonna put it in reverse.
Darling, I told you many times, and now I'm telling you once again, just to remind you, sweetheart, that my...
Oh, Lamar, Hail Mary, your marijuana times is hard. Pray with the hooligan, shadows all in the dark. Fellowship with demons and relatives, I'm a star. Life is one funny motherfucker. A true comedian, you gotta love him, you gotta trust him. I might be bugging, infomercials and no sleep. Introverted by my thoughts, children listen, it gets deep. See, once upon a time inside the Nicholson Garden Projects, the object was to process and digest poverty's dialect. Adaptation inevitable, gun violence, crack spot, federal policies, rape builders and drug professionals. Anthony was the oldest of 7, well respected, calm and collected. Laughing and joking made life easier. Hard times, mama on crack. A 4-year-old telling his nanny he needed her. His family history pimping and banking. He was meant to be dangerous. Clacked him a grip and start slanking. 15 scraping up his jeans with quarter pieces. Even got some hair from a smoker last weekend. Dodger policeman working for his big homie. Small time hustler graduated to a brick on him. $10,000 out of for project housing. That's on the daily. Seen his first meal, 20 years old. Had a couple of babies. Had a couple of shooters. Caught a murder case. Fingerprints on the gun, they assuming, but witnesses couldn't prove it. That was back when he turned his back and they killed his cousin. He beat the case and went back to hustling. Bird shuffling, Anthony rang. The first in the projects with the two-tone Mustang. That 5.0 thing. They say 5-0 came, circling parking lots and parking spots and hopping out while harassing the corner blocks. Crooked cops told Anthony he should kick it. He brushed him off and walked back to the Kentucky Fried Chicken. See, at this chicken spot there was a light-skinned nigga that talked a lot with a curly top and a gap in his teeth. He worked the window, his name was Ducky. He came from the streets, the Robert Taylor home, Southside Project, Chirac, the Terror Dome. Drove to California with a woman on him and $500. They had a son hoping that he see college, hustling on the side with a 9 to 5 to freak it. Cadillac severely ride his son around on weekends. 3-piece special with his name on his shirt pocket. Cross the street from the projects, Anthony planned to rob it. Stuck up the place before, back in 84. That's when affiliation was really 8 years of war. So many relatives telling us, selling us, devilish work, scaling us, crime, intelligent, felonious, prevalent proposition with nines. Ducky was well aware, they robbed the manager and shot a customer last year.
Possible to, well, anything's possible, but it's easier to get to the final boss without, you know, using any Rift Adrenaline shots. I feel like LEA Manhattan, like you were bound to use at least one. It was pretty hard to get past it solo without using at least one. Yeah, this next part, again, I would just dodge everything. No reason to sit here and fight. Kind of keep a track of what these are. So it's time. Time circle. Okay. Let me in the teleporter! Shit! So it's time circle. Shit. Should I stop? Yeah, probably. I usually don't, but holy shit. Okay, wow. I don't know if that's ever happened to me before. I think I usually run past all this. I don't think I sit here and fight. I did not know there was that many snipers here. Just gotta be quicker than a bullet. You ain't shit. Alright. Time circle, moon. Get this off of me. Now these motherfuckers I would kill. Like a sniper, they're kind of hard to, projectiles are very, they do a lot of damage and they're hard to dodge. But, technically you could ignore. Let's go ahead and weave them up. I honestly don't have to spend the time sitting here shooting those. I'll just kill the bug ones and then weave up the others. It was time for a second. Circle? Yeah. And last one's moon. No, third one's moon. This one's moon. So, for this final part, I'm just gonna explain how to do the whole boss fight right here, because when the second phase starts, she starts attacking me automatically, but she doesn't do it when you first walk in here. First things first, I would enter this area with all of your adrenaline shots. I only say that because, it's just, I don't want you to waste like 5k ammo and you end up dying because you only came in here with one. You do get a little bit of a break. She doesn't start attacking you off rip. So, you know, if you have your all-purpose hands, you can check your gear out, make sure everything's bueno before you start here. I'm doing pretty good. Pop out your food, redo your whims if you need to. What am I missing? Just arrow leap, I don't really care about that. But yeah, I'll go ahead and explain. So, this first one is pretty easy. You just shoot her until her health gets, I think, to that second bar. She'll have clones spawn in each corner, and you just have to kill them in order. It's always going to be the first tower that you need to look at with the sigil is right here underneath this bridge. The second one's going to be straight across, and then it's going to go 3 and 4, if I remember right. So yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. This first part's actually pretty easy. I think this boss overall is easier, just because. Like with LEA, her lightning attacks are the biggest problem, and she just spawns a lot more ants on you. This girl's lightning attacks, she does a whole like animation before she hits it, and they're a lot slower. Yeah, this first part's pretty self-explanatory and easy. The second part is the harder part. If y'all ran it before, y'all know it goes, you know, you shoot her a bunch, and then she gains a shield, and then you gotta like kill her in 30 seconds. It's impossible to do solo. I don't even know if it's all that possible to do it with a group. But pretty much, if you get that sigil circle to go around once, she doesn't get it again. So as a solo, you want to run the sigil through all the phases before you even shoot at her, because after that, she won't get her shield back. So do that, and the second piece of advice I got for you is, rather than wasting ammo on her, because you're not going to be able to affect their health at all. You're not gonna have enough time. Shoot the mini bosses that spawn in, because once one mini boss is up and it goes on to the next phase, the one previous won't spawn in again. So it goes like Arbiter, Walking, the Gluttony guys, Skywalkers, and then the fucking flying guys that shoot the laser beam at you. I forgot the name. So while you're able to shoot her and she's not immune, kill the Arbiters, and then complete the sigil, and then the Gluttony guys will walk in. And the faster you shoot the sigil and break it and get it to the next phase, the less of the bosses will spawn in. So Arbiter, and then when you're on the kill the Gluttony, and then you'll just have to deal with the flying guys, which are not easy, but you definitely don't want all the previous bosses to spawn in while you're doing it, or to be there while you're doing it, because they're gonna stack up. It doesn't prevent any future ones from spawning in. So take care of the mini bosses so you don't have 50,000 things shooting at you. The reason I told you to bring a transformation cookie is because on that second phase, and you'll see me do it because I'll play this through. If you're getting overwhelmed, and this is another reason I like me having this Stardust thing, you can sit by those lights and a transformation cookie, and nothing will target you. And you can just heal if you need to, or if you need to get up and pee. I mean, you can literally go do anything because nothing will target you. Again, try to break those sigils as fast as you can, but it's kind of a way to just get a break. And if you use Shadow Hound, you can pop a cookie while you're not getting hit. If you get hit or pull out a different weapon or try to do anything, it will pop you out of that cookie. But if you have a deviant that you don't have to throw, you can activate your deviant without getting out of the cookie. And you can activate your hound, and he'll do his howl thing, and everything will target him, pop out of your cookie, do what you need to do some damage or whatever. Eventually, some things will start targeting you again. But yeah, it's a good way to kind of get everything off your back, because everything's targeting you as a solo player. You could probably do it without this if you think it's a cheap trick, but again, you're not really supposed to be doing this dungeon solo, so use what the game gives you. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and do the boss and kind of just giving you an example of what I'm talking about. So I'm not sure what happened there. The game might have glitched. But usually on her last, oh, what is this? Level 3. Wow. Look at that. Usually on this last one, the flying guys will spawn in, and her lightning attacks will become more like LEAs. I don't know, like once you break that last sigil, I don't know what happened there. But it made it a lot easier, so I'm not gonna complain. But yeah, usually the last phase, maybe I broke him quick enough where she didn't have time to, but she'll spawn in some of those like flying guys that charge up a fucking spirit bomb at you and shoot that laser at you. And her lightning attacks will be a little bit harder. You just gotta dodge them better. But yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. I didn't even have to use a transformation cookie there, so I don't know if I would have had to since those sky guys didn't get to spawn in. Maybe I would have had to have then, but yeah, I did it without it. So yeah, I don't know what happened there, but yeah, that's how I run the solo dungeon. It's not easy, and you obviously shouldn't farm this. It should just be more of a personal accomplishment. But that is how you do it, and I hope that if you're not running it solo, that the guide at least, you know, helped you with your group settings. Because obviously, if you can run it solo, then you can do it with a group. If I got any questions, it's Clapton. You could just DM me on Discord or in the Hive chat. If you need me to craft you some of these Stardust energy drinks, I got you as well. But other than that, y'all have a good day.